Former Secretary Shri Dinesh Arora ji, who is present here, past Central Council members, members from the Regional Council, distinguished members from the jury, distinguished members from the expert group, Shri Harish Bharat, past Vice President ICSI, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed an honor and privilege to welcome each one of you on the behalf of ICSI to this award presentation ceremony organized by ICSI, titled at 23rd Corporate Governance Award Presentation Ceremony. On behalf of ICSI, on behalf of Shri Manish Gupta, President ICSI, I welcome each one of you. I'd like to start with a quote from Dharmasastra. Om Sarvesham Swasti Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purna Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangal Bhavatu, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. While most of you would have recognized the Shanti mantra, yet I would like to share the English translation of the same. May there be well-being in all, may there be calmness in all, may there be fulfillment in all, may there be auspiciousness in all, may there be peace all around. Standing here amongst some of the most renowned names of the corporate India, awaiting the presence of our esteemed guest, Sri Om Birla ji, I on behalf of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, welcome each one of you to the 23rd edition of the ICSI National Awards for Excellence in Corporate Governance. Friends, to me these awards are a celebration of not just excellence in governance, but a celebration of the overall approach of the Indian corporates to be good and doing good. And it is this responsible behavior portrayed by the corporates over the years that has motivated the ICSI to roll out these awards and to keep it going. Each year, as we sit to fine-tune the questionnaire, the flyers and the promotional material and anticipation looms over all of us as to how many companies would be applying for these awards. And it is an absolute delight to commend all the companies who have participated, who have taken the time out in collecting the data and information expected to collate the same, filling the questionnaire with utmost dedication, attaching supporting documents and send it all to our way. It is a common understanding that filling the applications for any awards is no less than sitting for an examination and awaiting its evaluation and its results. I thoroughly appreciate the efforts, patience and grit of each one of you who has added further to the magnanimity of these awards. As there is a saying in Dharmasastra, Asmakam Karyani Asman Savadhi Karishyanti, that is only action can define us. So I congratulate all the awardee companies, representative of all those awardee companies, all the awardee in different categories, and please give a big round of applause to all of them. India awaits with bated breath for this event, and it is for your vigor to uphold good governance that we feel extremely proud to celebrate good governance hand in hand with all of you, all in the hope, aspiration, confidence and trust that together we shall take the nation to the pinnacles of the good corporate governance. India has always been referred to as the land of Lord Ram. गुड गवर्नेंस की बात आए और राम राज्य का जिक्र न हो तो ये नामुमकिन है. Even further, as the nation comes together, awaiting the opening of the doors and the grand consecration event of Ram Temple in Ayodhya, as citizens of this nation, it falls upon us to live and conduct our lives as per the principles laid down for good governance by the Lord Ram himself. To quote Mahatma Gandhi, by Ram Rajya, I don't mean Hindu Raj. I mean Ram Raj, the kingdom of God. All gods are one and the same. I acknowledge no other God than the one God of truth and righteousness. Ram Rajya envisages a society in which virtue, morality and justice are the core ideals around which day-to-day interactions occur. Unquote. Even at the ICSI, we have adopted a motto, Satyam Vada Dharmam Chara, speak the truth, abide by the law. While truth denotes transparency and accountability, abidance and adherence with the law comes with diligent compliance. As we award the corporates for their best practices in governance over the years, we have also been commending the company secretaries of these organizations, the underlying thought being not just recognition, but a thorough motivation across the profession. Each year as we bring in more categories, introduce and launch new awards, the intent for us is crystal clear to show the world that governance cannot be confined to a single meaning. For us, portraying innovation and excellence in CSR is also a part of good governance, as much as portraying business responsibility and sustainability in functioning. A multi-million-dollar business is as significant as is a small enterprise listed on the SME exchange, paving its way and participating in the Indian growth story.
And also sharing with us the thought and the idea behind these awards, which were instituted in the year 2001, with the very aim of catalyzing a pervasive consciousness of good governance in the corporate sector. Thank you, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, today we are making efforts towards inculcating corporate governance, good governance in our organizations, in our enterprises. There are laws, there are regulations towards it, and if not following, there are also punishments as per the law. But then if you look back, good governance has always been a part of our Indian culture. So I just spoke about the Ram Rajya. And you actually find the reference of good governance in our mythological stories. So now we are going to be having a keynote address on Indian culture and governance by our keynote speaker, who writes writes on mythology, and he defines in fact mythology as cultural truths revealed through stories, through rituals, through symbols. He lectures on the relevance of both the Indian and the Western myths in today's time, in today's modern times. And in fact, many of you must have seen his TV serial also, Devalok, which gave us greater insights into the culture of the Devtas, or the supreme powers as we call, the various mythological events and the characters, which again stand so very relevant in today's time, which once again communicate that though the times have changed, but at the core, at the principles, we still remain the same, probably something like the old wine in a new bottle. So these stories, which though whether true or myth, we don't know, but they are a reservoir of greater wisdom, knowledge, and a lot much learnings. And we are very delighted, in fact very grateful, that we have Mr. Devdutt Patnaik present with us, who's a storyteller, a mythologist, and he's going to be taking us through the very relevance of again governance in today's time also. He, ladies and gentlemen, has also been a columnist, spent 15 years working in the pharma and the healthcare industry, and I feel that earlier he was actually rejuvenating bodies, and now with his stories he's rejuvenating the bodies and the minds. So pleasure to be welcoming you, sir, and the stage is all yours. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Devdutt Patnaik. As we welcome him, I would also like to request CSB Narasimhan, Vice President, to also stand as a commitment towards sustainable growth. As we welcome our keynote speaker.
When you walk into a meeting, जब आप एक मीटिंग में जा रहे हो और आपके सामने एक आदमी है, he gives you something, tells you something which doesn't make sense to you. Now, if you believe I know the truth, and the person telling you something and you don't understand क्या बोल रहा है, तो फिर आप उसके साथ विवाद करोगे. You will argue, you will arm wrestle, लड़ाई झगड़ा होगा, debate होगा, argument होगा कि सच कौन बोल रहा है, because only one of us can be true. Either I am right or you are right. और इसमें we start fighting with each other, and जो सबसे ज्यादा चिल्लाया वो जीत जाता है. Normally the boss always wins because the boss is the more truthful, because he is the one who is going to decide your remuneration. But the fact is, imagine you walk into the room and someone tells you something totally different, which doesn't make sense to you, but you say नहीं इसका सच है. It is his truth. Now you enter the room not with combat, but with curiosity. And you say, oh, I'm learning something new. ये आदमी अलग कुछ अलग बोल रहा है, he is thinking very differently. It doesn't make sense to me, but let me find out, let me inquire, let me be curious. And now you don't do vivad, you do samvad. You start talking, you have a conversation, and that creates a relationship. And a relationship is what creates the world. So the world of vivad is the world of right and wrong, truth and false, सच और झूठ, very combative, रणभूमि की दुनिया है, और वो 19th सेंचुरी की दुनिया है. लेकिन एक दूसरी दुनिया है जहां कहते हैं everybody has a different truth, and I need to engage with different kinds of truth. फिर हम रणभूमि नहीं रंगभूमि का निर्माण करते हैं, where we talk to each other, we have friends, we disagree, we don't make sense, मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा, but everybody is entitled to a different truth. This room has over 200 people right now. There are 200 different truths in this room. Each one of you has different knowledge, different experience, different information. You come from different companies. Each one of you is a body of knowledge. Nobody knows everything. And therefore I am curious. So when I talk to you, I want to know your truth. आपका सच क्या है? मेरा सच क्या है? उसका सच क्या है? उसका सच क्या है? So there are multiple truths in the world. That is the world of mythology. हर आदमी का अलग सच होता है. There is no universal truth. Indians never accepted this idea that everybody knows everything. Let me give you an example of the most successful business community in India. The Jains are the most successful business community in India. They are less than 1% of India's population, but they contribute to a significant portion of the GDP. And yet, most of us have never heard of Jain mythology. हम Jain mythology के बारे में नहीं सुनते हैं ज़्यादातर, unless आपको बहुत इंटरेस्ट है या आपके दोस्त हैं Jain फ्रेंड्स हैं. The only reason in Bombay, for example, people know about Jains is because जब आप रेस्टोरेंट में जाते हो, वहाँ पे लिखा होता है Jain पाव भाजी. We only know them because they कांदा लहसुन नहीं खाएंगे, आलू नहीं खाएंगे, so we know them from their dietary habits. But as a person who enjoys storytelling, I am interested in their stories. Do their stories contribute to their business success? And one very big idea in Jainism for the last 2000 years is the idea of अनेकांतवाद. अनेकांतवाद, वाद विवाद होता है, अनेकांतवाद, हर आदमी का अलग अलग वाद होता है. Everybody has a different opinion. Everybody sees the world very differently. Nobody sees everything. And therefore, when you talk to people, there is no need to be combative. रणभूमि में बैठने की कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है. One of the very big principles of Jainism is ahimsa. But the problem is today when we say ahimsa, we think it is vegetarian food. That's not what they are talking about. What they are saying is कि तुम्हें, you don't have to be combative in your relationship. You have to be curious in your relationship. Because only when you're curious in your relationship, you will understand what the market wants. कि market में need क्या है? And that is what makes you a great businessman. Because you understand कि market का demand क्या है, need क्या है, want क्या है, and that is what makes you a great businessman. And I believe this is the secret of Jain success. And we have to learn from this great success which comes. Because I do not have to be combative all the time. I have to be curious. And that is what mythology taught me. Because when you are curious, I want to be curious about corporate governance. What is governance? Now these are English words. But every culture has this concept. अगर मैं Chinese mythology बात करूं, तो वहां पे भी मुझे मिलता है ये concept. But Chinese mythology में Indians are not interested. अगर मैं बोल दूं तो बोले नहीं सर आप हमारे बारे में बताइए, तो चलो चाइनीज को छोड़ देते हैं. But what are these concepts? So let's go to the very basics. बहुत ही basic concepts से शुरुआत होती है, and then when you understand the somebody's truth. So ये somebody कौन है? तो जब आप वेद पुराण पढ़ते हैं, तो तो normally when we talk about our scriptures, we keep casually using words like Ved, Puran, but इनमें बहुत कहानियां हैं, stories. And one of the things the people said is that, stories, आजकल everybody in the corporate world talks about storytelling. In India, they realized very long ago that to reach out to the masses, you need to communicate complex concepts through stories. इसलिए stories को इंडिया में पंचम वेद कहते हैं, the fifth Vedas. So whether it's Buddhism में जातक कथाएं हैं, Jainism में there are stories of different kinds of Mahapurusha, Hinduism में there are many stories, Ramayana, Mahabharata being the popular ones, but the less popular ones, the small stories. And I want to take you on a little journey of a few stories, कहानी के माध्यम से, and appreciate and see how they were trying to come up with this idea of governance. ये idea आता कहाँ से है? So it's very simple कि देखो दुनिया में we have this idea that पहले ज़माने में ऋषि होते थे. Who are the rishis? Rishis are people who could see what other people cannot see. Simple definition. ये आता है दृष्टि शब्द से. Those who can see what others cannot see. So let me explain this. It's a very simple idea. हम पेड़ देखते हैं. And when you look at a tree, you see the leaves of a tree. And you see its green color. And then you see it has roots. तो ये हम भी देख सकते हैं, ऋषि भी देखता है, लेकिन ऋषि कुछ और देखता है. He starts noticing, almost like a scientist, कि the tree is always growing towards sunlight and the roots are always going towards water. तो वो देखता है, and from this दृष्टि comes दिव्य दृष्टि. He says, oh, पेड़ को भूख लगी है. It's hungry. And because it is hungry, it is searching, वो अपने लिए भोग ढूंढ रहा है, looking for food. So it's going towards sunlight, it's going towards water. So the plant is alive, वो जीवित है. All living things are hungry. Because suddenly he notices the birds, why are they flying? They're flying towards food. Why is the fish moving? It's moving towards food. Where is the deer going? The deer is going towards pasture. वो चरने जा रहा है. Where is the tiger going? It is hunting for food. And then it notices, wherever there is pursuit of food, there is hunger. And where there is hunger, there is life. जहां जीव होता है वहां भूख होती है, जहां भूख होता है वहां भोग के लिए एक खोज होती है. So all of us, how do I know all of you are alive? Because the moment there's a tea break, we get excited. A lunch break excites us. Dinner excites us. We actually work for food. We don't use the word food anymore, no, that we work for big things. We work for values. But जिस दिन घर में खाना नहीं होगा, as COVID taught us, the most important thing during COVID was घर में राशन है कि नहीं. So really it comes down to food and hunger. In management we don't use the word hunger. They're so primitive है ये. हम लोग अच्छा शब्द ढूंढते हैं. So MBA college में they will never teach you the word hunger. They will teach you the word ambition. महत्वाकांक्षा है भूख. Because bhook is your motivation, is your drive. Your sunlight is something different. Your water is something different. At a metaphorical level, it is the same thing. जहां भूख होती है, हम वहां जाते हैं. That is what motivates me. भूख नहीं होती, महत्वाकांक्षा नहीं होती, तो हम काम क्यों करते? भूख आता है. And that is the foundation of nature and culture. Everything. तो भूख को इतना इंपॉर्टेंस दिया गया है वेद में. Everything is about hunger. But then something interesting happens. Because the rishis started looking, अरे सब लोग खाना की तरफ जा रहे हैं. They're going towards food, but they're also trying to escape something. The deer is going towards grass, but it is avoiding the tiger. It is avoiding the predator. It is going towards food, but it is avoiding द प्रेडेटर, यानी कि भूख के साथ भय भी आ गया, फियर, इनसिक्योरिटी. I want to eat food. I don't want to be eaten. I want to consume, but I don't want to be consumed. I want to enjoy life. I don't want to be exploited by others. तो भूख, महत्वाकांक्षा के साथ भय भी आता है. And that is something that the rishis noticed. And they told us in the form of a story. एक राजा होता है और राजा के दरबार में एक दिन एक छोटी सी एक बर्ड आती है, एक परिंदा आता है, a little कबूतर, a dove comes in, and behind the dove is a hawk, एक गरुड़, एक चील, and the hawk is running after and is trying to catch this dove, and the Raja feels so bad, he says, takes the dove and protects him, says, I will protect the dove, I will protect the dove. The king feels very good. See, I'm such a good king. I have saved a life. मैंने एक प्राणी के प्राण को बचा दिया. Am I not a great king? Am I not a great king? And the dove says, thank you sir, you are the greatest in the world. आपने मेरी जान बचा दी. But then the deer asks the king, sorry, the eagle asks the king, मैं खाऊंगा क्या? What will I eat? I have to eat the pigeon. I have to eat the dove. See, pigeon doesn't sound good. Dove sounds better. I want to eat that. मेरा भूख है, मुझे भूख लगी. I have to eat it. It's my natural diet. So the king says, तुम किसी और को पकड़ो. He says, why should I kill another bird to save this bird? And the Raja says, this is not correct. He says, देखो मुझे भूख लगी है. You have taken care of one prani by saving. But in the process, you have denied me my food. मैं अभी भूखा मर जाऊंगा. मेरे बच्चे क्या खाएंगे? My children are waiting for me to bring flesh. What should they do? राजा बोलो. तो तुमने तो बड़ा धार्मिक काम कर दिया है. You have saved the bird. But you, in the process of saving one bird, you are causing the other bird to starve. ये तो अधर्म हो गया. तो बोलो धर्म है या अधर्म? अभी ये कहानी आपको बुद्धिस्ट लिटरेचर में मिलेगा, जैन लिटरेचर में मिलेगा, हिंदू लिटरेचर में मिलेगा. यू विल फाइंड दिस अक्रॉस बिकॉज दे आर इंट्रोड्यूसिंग द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ धर्म संकट, एथिकल डिलेमा, जिसको इंग्लिश में हम एथिकल डिलेमा बोलते हैं. पेड़ नहीं काटोगे तो घर में चूल्हा कैसे जलेगा? So suddenly the conflict comes. धर्म संकट. महाभारत में पांडवों को एक जंगल मिलता है जायदाद में, खांडव प्रस्थ, और कृष्ण कहते हैं अभी से जला दो. वहां पे हम लोग बड़ा महल बनाएंगे, राज्य बनाएंगे, इंद्रप्रस्थ का निर्माण करेंगे. तो Pandavas get excited, they are about to burn, when all the creatures of the forest start to scream. The birds, the animals, they say, but we'll die. What are you doing? How can you burn our forests? And they all go to Krishna and say, oh, we can't kill the birds, we can't cut the trees, we can't kill the serpents. And Krishna says, that's a very good option. फिर इंद्रप्रस्थ की स्वप्न मत देखना. Become a rishi muni, live in the forest like a tapasvi. जो तुम्हारी भूख है उसको मिटा दो. Because desire is the cause of all suffering, as the Buddha said. ना रहेगी बांस, ना बजेगी बांसुरी. Don't have a desire. भूख नहीं होगा तो तुम किसको खाओगे नहीं, किसी को खाओगे नहीं तो कोई मरेगा नहीं, किसका बलि नहीं चढ़ेगा. जहां भूख होती है वहां भोग होता है, जहां भोग होता है वहां बलि होता है, जहां बलि होता है वहां धर्म संकट होता है. Now this is Indian storytelling 2000 years ago, raising ethical dilemmas. Jivo jivatsya jivanam. Living creatures will eat living creatures in order to survive. alive, animals are alive. संस्कृति के निर्माण के लिए प्रकृति का हम बलिदान देते हैं. So this is a very important, and you find this in even older scriptures, even before the Ramayana and Mahabharata. There is Jainiya Brahmana, where a young boy called Bhrigu gets a dream. It's a beautiful story of this young boy who gets a dream. These stories are unfortunately not part of our Chitra Katha, so we don't read it. Humans are screaming, but there's no sound coming out. He doesn't know, he gets very scared. And he wakes up from it and he meets his father. His father is a great rishi. He goes to his father and says, "Father, I saw this very strange dream. What does it mean?" And the father said, देखो, तो पहला रूम जब गए थे ना, जहां पे एक मनुष्य को खा रहा था और वो जानवर की आवाज कर रहे थे. This is all the human beings who ate animals. In the next life, they will be eaten by the same animals. And they will scream like those animals they killed. So, oh my God, I will not eat animals. So, okay, very good option. Second rule. Who are these people who are screaming but no noise is coming out? Oh, these are the people who ate plants. You see, plants scream, but you can't hear them screaming. So, तुम भी जब पेड़ पौधे वनस्पति खाओगे, तो अगले जन्म में पेड़ पौधे वनस्पति तुम्हें खाएंगे, तुम भी चिल्लाओगे और उनके जैसे आवाज नहीं निकलेगी. जीव खाओगे तो तुम्हें बलि दोगे तो धर्म उसका कर्म भुगतना पड़ेगा. इसका कोई उपाय है? इंडिया है तो उपाय. हम जब भी किसी के पास जाते हैं बोलेंगे देखो बहुत प्रॉब्लम है, सर उपाय लीजिए, पगडंडी निकाल लीजिए. And the उपाय that Indians gave, and this is the उपाय the rishis gave, कि देखो तुम अपने भूख के बारे में मत सोचो, दूसरों के भूख के बारे में सोचो. जब बलि देते हो तो दूसरों को खाना खिलाओ. तो फिर मेरे बारे में मेरा भूख का क्या सर? मैंने मार दिया किसी को और मैंने उसको खाना दे दिया, so I kill something and I feed the eagle. What about me? Who will feed me? इसे अभी वो ऋण में है तुम्हारा. He is in your debt. He has to repay your debt by paying you, feeding you. You feed him and he will feed you. तुम उसको खाना दो और वो तुम्हें अगर नहीं दिया, वो ऋण में रहेगा. ऋण में रहेगा तो नरक में जाएगा.
Thank you everyone. So my name is Devdutt Patnaik and I write on mythology. And I always begin my sessions by explaining the word mythology. Because most people, as you must have observed, have a very 19th century definition of mythology. And we live in the 21st century, so we have to update ourselves. So we should not think like our grandparents. While we respect them, our grandparents had lived in a very different world, which was ruled by the British. But we are creating a world for our grandchildren, and they look at the world very differently. So it's important to update ourselves with the way we think. So the word mythology is about 200 years old, and it was created by the European colonizers. And even today, people, when they use the word myth, they use it as a synonym for fiction. So people think of this binary, true and false, and they use the word mythology with falsehood. Now this binary is a very old way of thinking, and it existed, as I say, in the 19th century. It doesn't work in the 21st century. Because in the 19th century, we were ruled by emperors, monarchs, and the king or the emperor, so the whole world was controlled by the British Empire. And the king or the emperor told you what the truth was. And whatever he said was the truth. And we all had to agree. And if we disagreed, it became false. But today we live in a democratic world, not in a monarchy, but in a democracy. And in a democracy, whose truth is the truth? Is the king's truth the truth? Is the people's truth the truth? Is a man going to decide what the truth is? Does women decide what the truth is? Do the rich decide what is true? Do the poor decide what is true? So how do you decide what is the truth? In English, when you write the word the truth, you try to translate it in Hindi. जब आप इसका अनुवाद करते हो तो आपको डेफिनेट आर्टिकल नहीं मिलेगा. So when I tell you the truth, just try to translate it in any Indian language and you will not be able to translate it. You will get words like ekam satya, one truth, or purana satya, comprehensive truth, but it is not the truth. So we use a very quantitative way of explaining it, not a qualitative way of explaining it. And that is a cultural difference. And this is what we need to understand. So language, bhasha is very important. We do not have to subscribe to Western ideas that सच और झूठ यही है, दुनिया ऐसा है. That's not the way the world works. Mythology is about saying, so the simple definition of mythology is this: somebody's truth. Somebody's truth. So there is everybody's truth, which is fact-based, measurement-based. So you have a measurement and you say this is 3 inches, that is 10 inches, that is 50 inches, and we all agree with it because we all have a measuring scale which is outside us. So when it's based on measurement, it becomes everybody's truth. But there are many things in this world which are not measurable. I can't measure your jealousy, Irsha. Nobody can measure jealousy. There is no scientific test by which I can prove that you are jealous or not. There is no way to measure it. I can't measure hatred. I can't measure anger. I can't measure pride. I can't measure arrogance. I can't measure it. I can feel it, but I can't measure it. Where do I place this? The scientific world doesn't deal with these topics because it is not measurable.
हम लोग कथाओं में सुनते हैं कि कथाओं में बहुत जगह वर्णन किया जाता है कि स्वर्ग और नर्क, अगर ये करेंगे तो स्वर्ग मिलेगा, ये करेंगे तो नर्क मिलेगा. So whether it is a positive motivation or it is a negative motivation, or what is swarg and what is nark as a common concept.
So these words swarg and nark really have to deal with accounting. They are accounting principles. You know, these ideas are related to snake and ladder game. The snake and ladder game was invented in India to explain ethics. And they said, the more you eat, jitna khate rahoge, the more you consume, you go into debt. And when you go into debt, you become heavier and heavier and heavier, and you go down, 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 and you go to nark. So they try to explain it like बच्चों को समझाने के जैसे कि देखो तुम जितना भी खाओगे तो उतना तुम नीचे जाते रहोगे, जाते रहोगे, जाते रहोगे, जाते. So that is the when तुम जितना देते रहोगे, so you generate equity. आप स्वर्ग जाते रहोगे, जाते रहोगे. Then they said कि so स्वर्ग is a place where you have equity, and nark. So for example, and that becomes very interesting because everybody loves स्वर्ग. या स्वर्ग के अब वर्णन क्या सुनते हैं हम लोग? स्वर्ग में अप्सराएं हैं. So अप्सराएं, so all the gentlemen get very excited because the stories are written by men for men, unfortunately. But गंधर्व है, अप्सराएं हैं, सोमपान होता है, अमृत है वहां पे. So it's a beautiful place of continuous party. अब क्या होता है, आपके पास इक्विटी है और आपके पास भोग विलास है. So everything is working in your favor. So what happens to you? You stop feeding और धीरे 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 करके इक्विटी कम होने लगता है. और जब इक्विटी कम होता है तो आप स्वर्ग से नीचे पटक के नीचे आ जाते हैं. So when you read the Mahabharat, for example, there is a story of Nahush. एक दिन वो जंगल में जा रहे हैं बच्चे, तो suddenly they see a chameleon-like creature, a python. Many stories are there like that. और उनको पूछते कौन है आप? इससे बहुत साल पहले मैं एक राजा था, मैं बहुत काम करता था, मैं स्वर्ग चला गया, स्वर्ग में मैं घमंडी बन गया, became and अभी वहां से मैं पटक के नीचे गिर गया. So it's the snake and ladder game. So that's what they're saying. What happens? See, when you get swarg, you forget your values. and then you fall down.
Respect may attract politeness, but not vice versa. Just because somebody is polite to you does not mean they are respectful to you.
Yes, yes.
How do you distinguish somebody is being just polite to you or they are just truly showing respect to you?
That's a great question because both the questions are related to each other. So, remember I mentioned a rishi is someone who can see what others cannot see. So in life there are two things, one which is visible and measurable and one which is not measurable. तो जिसको measure करते हैं उसको सगुण कहते हैं और जिसको measure नहीं कर पाते उसे निर्गुण कहते हैं. So eating vegetarian food is a habit. Does it mean you are a nice person? Doesn't mean anything. It just means you eat a particular kind of food. You can be a nice person, you can be a nasty person. Maybe you're covering up for your nastiness by eating vegetarian food. Otherwise, you go and meet the criminals, and if you do a study of criminals, you'll see all kinds of diet. All kinds of diet. So diet is just diet. We have given it some value, magical value. The richest people in the world who hoard 90% of the world's wealth in India are vegetarians.
Cannot be measured. Even judging corporate governance, a lot of qualitative aspects comes.
ICSI BRS Awards 2023, the Certificate of Appreciation in Non-Service Sector category is presented to Marico Limited. May I request Mr. Pawan Agarwal, the Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Vinay, MA, the Company Secretary, Software Limited. Receiving the Certificate of Appreciation, listed segment accepted. Congratulations to them. Now the Certificate of Appreciation. Congratulations to all the organizations.
या नॉर्मल अवार्ड में होता है डेब्यूटेंट अवार्ड वी कॉल तो दैट काइंड ऑफ अवार्ड सो दैट यू नो यंग प्रोफेशनल्स गेट मोटिवेटेड
Yes,
if we can introduce those.
that's a good idea. But for that purpose, we need to invite the nominations. I am not very sure how many of you are going to file those or give those nominations. So it has to be backed by your own corporates where you are working?
Maybe next year on.
Yeah, maybe next year we need to discuss this particular fact as well in the CLGC committee. So let's see.
And second thing, there are many second layers as well. I have seen that for the companies, those are when you are going to appreciate the governance professionals behind that. But the secretarial team of listed companies like us, where there are lot many back ends. There are 10 plus company secretaries working in the group. So there should be some appreciation for those categories as well, if you can consider.
A big round of applause for her. So that is the appreciation being provided by the entire fraternity to all the company secretaries who are working on those companies. At the same time, it is an award, and an award has to be given to a leader who is leading the entire show on behalf of the corporate. So that is the motto which we are carrying on. And at the same time, you all are welcome. We are not denying or not restricting the entry on the dais at the time of the award. Anyone who has got the award can come with 5-7 people. There is no such restriction in that. So all of them can come. Their names would be announced. Their applaud would surely be there for the entire team.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Disney combining with Reliance and such moves are happening. Now they're becoming, going to the internet, and we will see more and more of this. And I understand ICSI is also a member of International Corporate Governance Network.
ICGA.
Yeah. And now to actually, it's like nomination at that international level. Can they state even forward that there could be at the international level a joint award between ICSI and that network, which is for the companies which are internationalizing, to bring them on the world stage.
Thank you very much, sir, for this wonderful suggestion. Let me share with you that ICSI is member of ICGN network. We are very active with OCED. At the same time, we are a member of CSIA, which is the governing, I would say, the body of the governance institutions in the world. So, instituting those awards for at the international level, that's a very good idea, a good suggestion. I need to check with all those agencies whether they have those practices or not. That is one. Second, whether they want to have any of the governance institution as partner with them or not, because ICCA is having a network of all governance institutions across the world. So that is required to be checked. Yes, the CSIA, which is the institution which was wherein we are a member of it.
क्या हम इसमें अच्छा हो, एक बात और ऐड कर सकते हैं कि जो भी कंपनी सेक्रेटरी इसी ग्रुप में आते हैं, उनके एम्प्लॉइज कंपनी सेक्रेटरी भी CSBF के क्वालिफिकेशन पास करके आए. अगर आप उसको प्रेफरेंस देंगे अवार्ड देने में, तो वो दिस कैन बी एडेड वन क्राइटेरिया, ये ना इंडिविजुअल CSR हो जाएगी.
Sir, it's a very good suggestion, I would say, but this can only be passed for 2 awards. One, the Best Secretarial Audit Award, and second, the Best PCS Firm. Because all other awards for the corporates, not per se for the.
नहीं, कॉर्पोरेट से सर आप जूरी से बात करके या क्वेश्चन में डाल सकते हैं कि उनके जो कंपनी सेक्रेटरी एम्प्लॉइज हैं या स्टाफ में हैं, they should be CSBF member, उसका नंबर आप ज्यादा दे सकते हैं.
Sure sir, sure sir.
Thank you.
I will place this particular request before the board.
May I request you, can you make an appeal to all the present here कि they have to promise करें, each one bring one CSB member. अपने दोस्त को ढूंढे, अगर उनसे 4 करते हैं वो, तो उनको CSB का मेंबर बनवाएं.
मैं कर देता हूँ सर.
जी, thank you.
I just wanted to share with you all that for a novel course of CSBF, just yesterday only I was in Rajkot, and there was a program for the inaugural of Rajkot premises, and I'm really happy and elated to share with you all that WIRC, Western India Regional Council of ICSI, has donated a sum of 5,01,000 rupees to CSBF.
So while Ashish CS gave the background about how the award mechanism has been,
Personally, I would like to know that under each of the categories, if you would know which all, the count of the companies that had been nominated, and while you have been giving the award to one and the appreciation to the second company, can you have like good, better, best, like 1, 2 and 3? So it's a motivation for the companies to move from the third position to second, or maybe from third to first. That's just a suggestion.
Okay, well noted.
मेरे ख्याल से आप सभी इस बात से एग्री करेंगे कि आज के समय में कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस का महत्व और अधिक बढ़ जाता है, और विशेष रूप से तब विकास के साथ एक नए भारत के निर्माण की परिकल्पना कर रहे हैं और भारत को 2047 तक एक विकसित भारत बनाने की यात्रा पर आगे अग्रसर है। New India definitely requires businesses which are economically and financially more robust and vibrant, but then at the same time also environmentally more responsible, socially more conscious and aware. और ICSI इन पुरस्कारों के माध्यम से ये attributes, ये ethics, ये norms को सम्मानित करता है। वाइस उनका हमारे और सभी की तरफ से विशेष रूप से आभार व्यक्त करने के लिए मैं निवेदन करती हूँ CS मनीष गुप्ता जी से, प्रेसिडेंट ICSI, कि वह श्री ओम बिरला जी को सम्मानित करें एक शॉल भेंट कर, और हम सभी की तरफ से आभार व्यक्त करते हुए एक पौधे के माध्यम से भी उनका स्वागत, जो हमारे एक संकल्प है सतत विकास की तरफ, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट की तरफ। और आज के इस विशेष अवसर पर एक विशेष स्मृति चिन्ह भेंट कर ग्रेजुएट।
Respected Sri Om Birla ji, Speaker of the Honorable Parliament of India, Sri Manish Gupta, President ICSI, Mr. Dhananjay Shukla, my colleague in the Council, Mr. Ashish Mohan, Secretary, other dignitaries of the dais, my Council colleagues, and other invitees who are present over here, and dear members. I've been allotted exactly 5 minutes to share about a legacy that has been around with us for more than 20 years. It's indeed a very arduous and a very difficult task. It is an activity which usually takes a major part of the entire year, but is eagerly awaited by the companies, the corporates, entities across the nation. Although the Secretary ICSI has shared the entire process of the agenda, awards, segments and categories, and what goes into making these awards a grand success, I have been allocated a different role. It takes us about 6 months to reach this stage. This day, before we welcome our guests, we invite the India Inc. and we solicit the presence of our own members, and in the said company, we recognize the corporate for their fabulous work. Each award has a dedicated designated expert group. The group comprises members of the industry, academia, the profession, and to our delight, each year, as we ring in their phones, all the members happily agree to be part of this journey, taking time out of their busy schedule, flying in and joining us from all parts of the country for a day-long, sometimes even days-long meetings and deliberations, only to finalize the questionnaire. All this makes our heart swell with pride.
Vice President ICSI, my central council colleagues on the dais, Secretary ICSI, past presidents of the institute, past secretary of the institute, secretaries who are present here, all awardees who are going to get the awards, other participants, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to all of you. At the outset, I welcome you all on behalf of ICSI to this award function, and we are really fortunate to have a gracious presence of Shri Om Birla ji on this occasion. Thank you very much, sir, from core of our heart for gracing the occasion and accepting our request to be a chief guest for the award function. Thank you for gracing the occasion, sir. This journey of awards was started way back in the year 2001 when one of the former president, Dr. Jagmohan Rao, has conceptualized this idea, and unfortunately just yesterday only he expired and he is no longer with us. He is visionary, he has started, instituted these awards, and this journey would continue for many years to come.
We also like to thank CS Commissioner Day, Council Member Eastern Region, CS Suresh Pandey, Council Member Northern Region, CS Venkataramana Rajayanu, Council Member Southern Region, and CS Rajesh C. Tapara and CS Ashish Kaluria. We now have the release of the next good practice. Has laid the foundation for articulating this charter comprising legal, regulatory, as well as desirable good practices to be followed by NRC while discharging its responsibilities. We thank all the members of the Secretarial Standards Board for the formulation of these charters, the Board of Directors and the NRC, particularly CS Nagendra D. Rao, Chairman SSB, CS Praveen Soni, CS Suresh Pandey, Central Council members, on SSB, CS S. Sudhakar, Group Convener, CS Deep Manisha, Representative of SEBI, and all the members of the subgroup constituted for this purpose. Particularly CS Vinny K. Chaudhary, Chairman ASB, CS Manoj Kumar Kodre, CS Rajesh C. Tapara, CS R. Venkata Ramana, CS Supanjana Dey, Council members, contribution. SMEs and the company secretaries alike. Who joins us now, touches upon some of the most significant areas concerning the MSMEs and seeks to add to the government's agenda of promoting ease of doing business. We would like to mention that to serve this purpose, ICSI has formed the MSME and the Startup Board, rolled out the initiative MSME and Startup Catalyst, wherein company secretaries may serve as advisors to the by the government. Under the chairmanship of Mr. P.P. Mandura, Independent Director, ICSI IIT. बहुत धन्यवाद श्री ओमविला जी का इन सभी पब्लिकेशंस को रिलीज करने का।
अपनी सचिव संस्थान के नेशनल अवार्ड और एक्सीलेंसी इन कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस 2023 पुरस्कार वितरण समारोह में ICSI संस्थान के अध्यक्ष मनीष गुप्ता जी, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट बी नरसिम्हन जी, सचिव आशीष मोहन जी, काउंसिल सदस्य धनंजय शुक्ला जी और भारतीय कंपनी सचिव संस्थान में सभी कॉर्पोरेट जगत के सभी साथीगण, ICI के सभी सदस्यगण, गवर्नर काउंसिल के सदस्यगण, मैं आप सबको नववर्ष की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूं, बधाई देता हूं। नववर्ष आपके प्रयासों से, आपके सहयोग से, आपके मार्गदर्शन से और हमारा आर्थिक तंत्र मजबूत हो, पारदर्शितापूर्ण हो, जवाबदेही हो और जो आपकी महत्वपूर्ण जिम्मेदारी है उस जिम्मेदारी को आप ठीक से निभा पाए। मानव कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस की उत्कृष्टता में आपका बहुत बड़ा योगदान है और आपने अपने कार्यों से, अपनी पारदर्शी तरीका से, आर्थिक सुचिता से, उच्च मापदंडों से भारत की कंपनियों के अंदर पारदर्शिता है ताकि देश के आम उपभोक्ता, शेयर होल्डर, हितधारक सभी लोगों को इस पारदर्शिता का लाभ मिले। निश्चित रूप से ICSI के इस राष्ट्रीय पुरस्कार में जिन कॉर्पोरेट जगत में पारदर्शिता लाने के लिए, नैतिक आचरण के माप सुनिश्चित करने के लिए आपने जो महत्वपूर्ण कार्य किया है उसके लिए मैं पुरस्कार प्राप्त करने वाले सभी पदाधिकारियों को, संस्थान के सभी सदस्यों को बधाई देता हूं, शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। ICS परिवार बहुत बड़ा परिवार है जिसमें 70,000 से ज्यादा इसमें प्रैक्टिस करने वाले संस्थान के सदस्य हैं, 2.5 लाख से ज्यादा विद्यार्थी हैं और विशेष रूप से भारत के कंपनी संस्थान में काम करने वाले लोग दुनिया के अंदर भी अलग अलग देशों के अंदर कॉर्पोरेट जगत में पारदर्शिता है, जवाबदेही है, सुचिता है, इसके लिए दुनिया के कई देशों के अंदर भी काम कर रहे हैं। ये परिवार अब राष्ट्रीय नहीं, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर का परिवार हो चुका है। मुझे पता है कि जब भी मैं विदेश में जाता हूं तो हमारे चाहे CEO हो, चाहे कंपनी सेक्रेटरी हो, इन लोगों का वहां के आर्थिक बदलाव में बहुत बड़ा योगदान है और कई संस्थाओं के अंदर तो वहां की महत्वपूर्ण पदों पर उस कंपनी को संचालित करने में उनका योगदान है और उनके प्रयासों से कंपनी में आर्थिक शुचिता तो आई है, पारदर्शिता भी आई है, लेकिन उनके प्रोफेशनल तरीके के कारण उस कंपनी को प्रॉफिट में लाने में भी उनका बहुत बड़ा योगदान है और इसीलिए इस संस्थान की पहचान अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर है और इसके साथ साथ इसकी महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका भी आज पूरे देश में नहीं पूरे विश्व के अंदर है। कंपनियों के अंदर अभी कई पेचीदगियां हैं, कानूनों में परिवर्तन होता रहता है, रूल्स में परिवर्तन होता रहता है। समय समय पर मैं अभी मोदी जी से कह रहा था, जब कानून में परिवर्तन हो तो हमारे संस्थान का ये कंट्रीब्यूशन होना चाहिए कि लोकतांत्रिक संस्था में चुने हुए जनप्रतिनिधि को हम समय पर होने वाले मार्गदर्शन के अंदर सहयोग की भूमिका निभाएं। हर एक्ट में जो परिवर्तन होता है या नया एक्ट लाते हैं, नया कानून लाते हैं, उस समय जनप्रतिनिधि हर क्षेत्र में एक्सपर्ट नहीं होते। उस समय आप जैसे एक्सपर्ट लोगों की आवश्यकता है। अगर आप एक्सपर्ट लोग जनप्रतिनिधियों को सहयोग करो, उनकी कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग करने में सहयोग करें और किस कानून के अंदर क्या पक्ष है, क्या उसका लंबे समय देश को, कंपनियों को सुचिता लाने में लाभ होगा और भारत के आर्थिक तंत्र को भी मजबूत कर पाएंगे, तो उस एक्ट के अंदर, उस कानून बनते समय अगर संसद और विधानसभाओं में तर्क के साथ डिबेट होगी, चर्चा होगी, तो बेहतर परिणाम आएंगे। कई बार सरकार कानून लाती है, कानून नौकरशाहों के द्वारा तैयार किया जाता है, लेकिन लेजिस्लेटिव ड्राफ्टिंग करते समय जो ब्यूरोक्रेटिक सिस्टम के लोग हैं वो बहुत अनुभवी नहीं होते और लेजिस्लेटिव ड्राफ्टिंग के समय अगर एक कमी रह जाती है तो उसका बहुत लंबे समय तक प्रभाव पड़ता है। और इसीलिए मैं संसद में देखता हूं कि जब चर्चा हो तो विशेष रूप से जनप्रतिनिधि उस एक्ट को, उस कानून के अंदर जो कुछ भी धाराएं लाई जा रही है या बदलाव किया जा रहा है, हर सरकार की मंशा रहती है कि कानून पारदर्शितापूर्ण हो, कानून जवाबदेही हो, कानून के माध्यम से आर्थिक शुचिता है, हितधारकों का हित संरक्षण रहे और आर्थिक तंत्र भी हमारा तेजी से बढ़े। सरकार का यह प्रयास रहता है कि हम आर्थिक तंत्र को कैसे मजबूत और सुव्यवस्थित कर सकते हैं, कानून के दायरे में लाते हुए हम किस तरीके से हमारी आर्थिक गतिविधियों को, जो बढ़ती अर्थव्यवस्था को और तेजी से ला सके, ताकि अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर भारत की प्रतिष्ठा बनी रहे और भारत की कंपनियों की प्रतिष्ठा बनी रहे। और इसलिए जब भारत की कंपनियों की प्रतिष्ठा बनी रहेगी, उसमें पारदर्शिता होगी, जवाबदेही होगी, शुचिता होगी, हितधारकों का अधिकार संरक्षण होगा, तो जितनी भी मल्टीनेशनल कंपनियां हैं उसमें अन्य देशों के लोग भी आर्थिक रूप से उसमें अपना हिस्सेदारी लेने का काम करेंगे, ताकि उनको पता होगा कि जो कंपनियों में मैं निवेश कर रहा हूं, मेरा निवेश, मेरा धन सुरक्षित है और ये कंपनी की आर्थिक स्थिति जैसी बताई जा रही है वैसी आर्थिक स्थिति है। इसलिए कानून बनते समय आपके संस्थान को विशेष रूप से जब भी कानून बने और कानून बनते समय जब प्रचलित कानून को, जब आजकल तो कंप्यूटर आईटी का जमाना है, टेक्नोलॉजी का जमाना है, तो कानून की ड्राफ्टिंग को सबसे पहले जनता में प्रचलित करने के लिए डाला जाता है। उस समय हमारा प्रयास होना चाहिए कि उसमें हम सकारात्मक सहयोग दें, सकारात्मक मार्गदर्शन करें, ताकि बेहतरीन कानून बन सके। मैं कई बार देखता हूं कि कानून बनने के बाद कुछ दिनों बाद उसमें वापस संशोधन लाना पड़ता है। कोई कानून बनाते समय जितनी डिबेट होगी, चर्चा होगी, उतना ही बेहतरीन कानून बनेगा। इसलिए हमारे लोकतंत्र में मेरा मानना है कि हर कानून बनाते समय व्यापक चर्चा होनी चाहिए, संवाद होनी चाहिए, डिबेट होनी चाहिए और विशेष रूप से जो हमारे माननीय सदस्य हैं वो कानून को समझकर तर्क संगत तरीके से डिबेट चर्चा करें। इसके लिए आपके सहयोग की मैं मानता हूं आवश्यकता है। दुनिया के अंदर भारत तेजी से बढ़ती अर्थव्यवस्था है और लोगों का विश्वास देश के अंदर इस बढ़ती व्यवस्था में और विश्वास जमा है। दुनिया की बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियां भारत में निवेश करना चाहती हैं और उस समय आपकी बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी बन जाती है कि हम कंपनी सेक्रेटरी के नाते उसको सही कानूनी सलाह दें, उचित मार्गदर्शन करें और कंपनी के अंदर पारदर्शिता लाने में हमारे प्रयास विशेष रूप से होते हैं और इसीलिए टैक्सेशन प्रोसेस से लेकर तमाम चीजों के अंदर जो कुछ भी परिवर्तन हो रहा है उस परिवर्तन में आपके सहयोग की विशेष रूप से मैं आवश्यकता मानता हूं और इसीलिए आज के इस बदलते परिप्रेक्ष्य के अंदर मैं देख रहा हूं कि इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी का बहुत उपयोग हो रहा है। इसके दोनों तर्क होते हैं कि चाहे प्रौद्योगिकी का उपयोग हो, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस का उपयोग हो, लेकिन उसमें उपयोग करते समय मानव संसाधन का कम उपयोग तो हो, लेकिन पारदर्शिता लाने के लिए आपके महत्वपूर्ण सहयोग की आवश्यकता पड़ती है और इसीलिए हमारी कोशिश होनी चाहिए कि उस पारदर्शिता लाने में हम किस तरीके से बेहतरीन कानूनी सलाह दे सकते हैं। और मुझे याद है कि आज भारतीय कंपनियों की प्रतिष्ठा विश्व में बढ़ रही है और इसके कारण अन्य देशों से निवेश भी आ रहा है। आने वाले समय के अंदर जब बदलती परिस्थिति में भारत आर्थिक अर्थव्यवस्था में तेजी से बढ़ रहा है, दुनिया की बड़ी कंपनियां भारत में निवेश करना चाहती है, उस समय आपकी बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी है। जितनी पारदर्शिता होगी उतना ही विदेशी निवेश आएगा, जितनी पारदर्शिता होगी उतने ही हितधारक अपने हिस्सेदारी उसके अंदर शेयर होल्डर के रूप में रखेंगे और इसीलिए कंपनी सेक्रेटरी के नाते इस आर्थिक अर्थव्यवस्था के अंदर आपकी महत्वपूर्ण जिम्मेदारी है और इस आर्थिक अर्थव्यवस्था के अंदर शुचिता है, पारदर्शिता है, जवाबदेही है, हमारी कंपनियां बेहतरीन तरीके से काम कर सके। मुझे आशा है आप सभी संस्थान के लोग देश हित में, राष्ट्र हित में इस काम के लिए सहयोग करेंगे और भारत में और निवेश आए, भारत का आर्थिक तंत्र और मजबूत हो, उसमें भी आपका विशेष रूप से सहयोग रहेगा। आप सभी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। जिनको पुरस्कार मिला उनको बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं, बहुत बहुत बधाई।
शुरुआत करते हैं ICSI बिजनेस रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी और सस्टेनेबिलिटी PRS अवार्ड्स 2023 से। Tata Steel Limited is the winner. Would like to invite Mr. Bharat, the company secretary and chief legal officer, also Mr. P. Jha, his president, the head of sustainability and disclosure, and Ms. Mukta Fadnavis, who is also present, thus the head of compliance of Tata Steel Limited.
Infosys Limited.
Infosys Limited, the winner, inviting Mr. Pankaj Kumar. segmented in 3 categories, that is large, medium, small and emerging enterprises. And we begin with the small and
TP Center Odisha Distribution Limited.
TP Center Odisha Distribution Limited, inviting Mr. Pradeep Bharat of TP Center Odisha Distribution Limited, congratulating them as they receive awards at the Ministry of Liberty, Trophy and the certificate.
Industries Limited.
Exide Industries Limited.
Limited. ICSI Digital Pension Fund.
with a trophy and a certificate. Also recognizing C.S. Mishra as Governance Professional of the Year in the Uplisted Medium category is being presented a trophy. Unlisted segment, we have the
Tata Power Dairy Distribution Limited.
the Governance Professional of the Year in the Unlisted Segment Large category. So women CS being recognized here, Monica Mehra as the Governance Professional of the Year.
Sonata Software Limited.
Sonata Software Limited. As the Governance Professional of the Year in the listed emerging category. CS मंगल कुलकर्णी जी को अब सम्मानित किया जा रहा है, ट्रॉफी प्रदान कर गवर्नेंस प्रोफेशनल ऑफ द ईयर सम्मान से लिस्टेड इमर्जिंग कैटेगरी में. Congratulations to him.
Limited.
Limited. Recognized as a Governance Professional of the Year in the listed medium category. And we go on to the next award, that's the Best Governed Company.
Asian Private Limited.
J. Murugan ko, who's being recognized as the Governance Professional of the Year in the District Large category.
CS Nitu Botha.
CS Nitu Botha. Joining along with the police. Trophy और ये सर्टिफिकेट सम्मानित किया जाता है। और अगला पुरस्कार ICSI Best PCS Firm Award. This is in recognition of the excellent work and contribution made by PCS firms. This award was introduced in 2021 and the shortlisted enterprise.
Vinod Kothari and Company. और अब आज के संध्या का आखिरी पुरस्कार बहुत विशेष और